Hello, Richmond. You joined me after an hour of pain, and you didn't believe that professional programmers had pain. We do. So I'm hoping that this is going to work. I've had to see what works. Yes. And now we're there. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to get this working. And I didn't miss my lunch at all. Now, for some reason, right, this is operating in a completely odd way. Yeah. I've actually had to put the name that I'm on the query string, and the reason I worked out that this was the way to do it was because I actually looked at what Swagger was successfully creating and managed to get it going. So if you could open up your create service, I'm sure there's a better way to do this than what we've currently got going, but hey, any port in a storm, right? So the first thing you need to do is encode the category name we're going to send over. So const name equals encode URI component category.name. You'll have to import encode URI component as it comes in. It really shouldn't work like this. Everybody's programmer here knows that you shouldn't be passing stuff over the query string for a post, and yet that is what seems to work. So the next bit you'll need to look at carefully is this bit. It's the same as your old URL, but instead of ending with the word create, you have to put a question mark in, which means that's the beginning of parameters. Capital N name equals $name. And then the third thing you'll need to change is this JSON.stringify, and just put an empty object in there. And that should get you up to speed on category creation. I'm going to leave that up there for a bit. Is there anyone who needs help right now on anything else apart from this, or are we all good? Okay. Which one?
I'm not sure if I have that or not, but
well, let's tell me what the error message is, and then I can help you out. That's fine. So, Blake, how are you getting on? You were furthest along with this. Okay.
Would this also fix the problem?
Yeah. Actually, that's a very good point. Let me just push the cross origin stuff up, because I fixed that as well at lunchtime. So just give me a sec. Yeah, if they go into their Empower public project, they will be able to pull that and it will work. Git add. Oh, hang on. Yeah, they can hear me. Yeah. So everyone will need to pull a version of the project which has got the core stuff fixed. So git commit. Now, you might wonder why we got that error message, so I may as well explain it, yeah? This is a big security concern. By default, websites will not just let, APIs will not just let anything else to connect to them, yeah? That has to be, it won't let anything to connect to them by default. And that's for security reasons. You know, if you've got a bank API and stuff like that, you don't want any old Tom, Dick or Harry just rolling in and saying, oh, give me some balances or whatever, you know. So that is for a reason, a very good reason. There's a lot of security built up around the web. I'm just going to push this up now, and then I'll get you back onto that screen. You shouldn't have to do that this is Empower Public that you'll get pulling. You're not, yep, okay, it's not Empower Angular. So,
Just clone it again.
just git pull it.
You need to change your connection string on Steer.
Do you? I don't think I've changed the app settings.json, and so I don't think it would overwrite what you currently have. We did this morning, didn't we?
I had to.
Yeah?
I had the local host in the apps.
Okay. Well, we can deal with that. I mean, most people that I got up and running this morning have pulled the other one, and we're still working. Okay, so I'll get you back onto this now. I'll spend a little bit of time, but this is I can't believe this works.
Can you talk about the create request on
What's that?
the create request the line 41?
Right. Yeah. We don't actually need that. That's not there. That was my attempt to get something that would fit the shape of the data. So that's all we need.
Something in error with return this. HTTP post URL is right here.
Yeah, you didn't take the name package anything out of it. Just look at that. Yeah, look at what I've written, and take out what you have that I have not written. Now you might wonder why we're doing this as well, yeah? Encode URI component. The reason we need that is because you can't easily send spaces over the web, yeah? Or any other characters. So what that will do is that will turn it into URL encoded special representations that can be re-encoded at the other end. So I should be able to send a title over with a space, and it should work. And in fact, I did. My PT test thing did have a space in it. And in fact, I might actually just get this over to you on the Slack channel. Doing Aaron. I've seen what you've been doing, Aaron. You're a very naughty boy. But this is really my bad, and you shouldn't have had to have put up with it. But the programmers amongst us will confirm that post stuff normally gets posted as a datagram. It's weird that we're not picking it up from there. Okay, so you should all have a work and create method now, yeah? Because it's in the Slack channel in Empower Public. And there's no excuses. If you get a squiggly line underneath your encode URI component thing, yeah, control dot will resolve it for you. So anyone not got that method in now? The cool thing is, now that we've sussed out how to send this over, we're probably not going to have the same problems when you come to develop Actor and you've got a reasonable thing here. But I'm going to give you a clue here, right? Actor is going to take 2 parameters when you do your create, so I'm going to leave this in here just so you know how to pass multiple things on the query string. First thing which puts the query string in is the question mark. After that, you need to use the ampersand for the actors thing. This will be your you'll probably have something like this: first name equals this plus last name equals something else. And you'll need to URL encode both of those, but it's not that important right now. I just want to help you out in the future. So anyone not got a built-in TypeScript app? Or are we all good? What's that? Yeah. Let's have a look at your C# thing. I just want to make sure it's fine. You don't get hit on that, yeah? You've got to get your connection strings. Select one, right? It must be something else. You don't get bored. Okay, we've got the connection. Is that yours? Yeah, okay, great. Alright, so you'll do it there. So let's just try and rebuild that, see what's going on there. You shouldn't be trying to get it happy at all when it first builds up, but see that one. Over the C#. Alright, so that's running. See that? Open. You see that now. Yeah, well, no, I'm just trying to push it around. What is the only reason is to get
Now, let's check it out on the other side. So, new tab, proposals.
So if you've got one, which is best, where's the rep run?
Has
I just changed this before the web now, so was there an anger out there? Yeah, it wasn't doing the
before that, that's correct.
right. It wasn't doing the board, so I'm just guessing. It doesn't go back to categories this, but it said it already.
From here, I would call, would it fall or?
Actually, do the thingy solution first and then read this one. Okay. Right, guys. Can I have Kelly and Moo helping anyone who's got problems at the moment? So, how's Richmond doing with this stuff? Are you okay? Have you got this in? Not hearing anything. I'm assuming everyone's working and ready to proceed. Are you okay, Aaron? Yeah? What about you, Sasha? Yep. You okay, Jamila? Your app's running, which is a good sign. Did you do your Git pull for Visual Studio? Very good. So let's go to new. We've got a problem now. Right, so we've got a create method there, and that should now be happy. Assuming everybody's cool with this, I want to go on and show you how we're going to do a delete now. So I was asked earlier on if we would need to create a new component for the delete, and I would say yes and no. I mean, we can invoke the delete behavior from the list stuff, but we'd probably want a confirmation that people actually want to delete what we've just said that they're going to delete. Yeah. So I think first of all, we go to our categories markup, and next to our edit button, we're going to create one to delete. for right now, we are going to be quite fly by the seat of our pants, and we are not going to do the confirmation screen, but I'll show you how to do that next. Just get rid of this so you can see the whole thing. It's one of the problems with having large text. So now on our category stuff, we're going to see a delete button alongside each category. Doesn't do anything yet, and in fact if we try to route to it, it's not going to find it. Why is it not going to find it? We haven't created a route, correct. So we will need to handle that route. But as I said, we're not going to a delete confirmation thing just yet. So copy and paste that link. Put another one above. And I'm going to show you another way to do this as well. With the stuff that we can do directly in the component. So the thing I'm going to show you is just calling the API delete method. And we don't want to route a link for this. We want to call a method on the controller, on the component. So we type click, and then type delete category, this will allow us to call a method called delete category on our category list. Is that going to work right now? And why not? Yeah, excellent.
Does the parentheses around click just signify it as an event?
Yes, you are absolutely spot on there. Scott asked whether the parentheses around click signifies whether it's an event, and the answer is yes. I probably just want to confirm that's definitely the truth. But that is my understanding of the syntax, and the square brackets and the other square brackets and brackets together are the for ng model binding.
The curly bracket, double curly brackets, bind data to the view, and big brackets bind data.
The round brackets, we're gonna test this out right now, okay? I'm gonna create this method on here, and we're gonna create a status message. It's gonna start it off as blank. And all our delete category method's going to do is change this status message. And this is going to take an ID in as a number. So when that's I'm still not going to be right on this though, so what do I need to do in my markup to make that work? I'm not passing the ID of the category I want to delete. No, when inside the so it's odd. I think inside these JavaScript ones, you just do category ID. Right, I know I'm racing ahead, but I will come back to this, okay? I just want to see if this works. And what I want to do up here is put a H2 or H3 status message to reflect that. And I might also just put in a ng if status message. Now, how's that going to behave?
On run, if status message is not. Oh wait.
Truthy is the word you're looking for. So, when would a string be false? When it's empty, correct. Oh. Hang on, wait, I just want to check that. Yes, it is false. I've just been asked if it's false if it's null, and that is true. It is false if it's null. Null and empty string aren't the same. No, null means there is no sort of value for it. I don't know why I keep getting this problem here, you know. As you can see where it is, I just don't know why I'm getting it again. I thought I had that sorted. So category service. $8.25. Oh dear. I'm not quite sure why I have this. Let's okay, that's looking better now. Yeah, I know. Hang on. I just really want to make sure that we're. I promise you, I'll go back and you will get some semblance. Right. So. Right. What files do we need to see? So okay, there's the categories component. Yeah. Yep, it's working. And as you can see, we're not seeing status message at the top. I'm just going to switch it back and then switch here. But if I try and delete something, I get the attempt to delete, yeah? And I'm just going to make sure that I know what it was we tried to delete. I'll switch back. And this really isn't an uncommon way of developing. You don't, you know, before you get the Yep, so I just know I know that I'm definitely getting a category ID and stuff like that. I know that this method is ready to do something else. So categories, which screens do we need, guys? Okay, categories component.
So like what part is updating the number of times you try to delete?
That's in categories component.ts. So
Oh, okay.
I've just put that in, so you probably don't have that. So we just want a hide and show status message, depending on whether status message is anything. We want that link. I'll pass this delete link over so that you can put it in. I've put it in the Slack channel if you want to just copy the delete link from there. I'm going to switch back over to categories component because I was asked by Jamila how I got the number in, string interpolation, and what sort of ticks do we need for those, Bethany?
The crazy ones.
Crazy ones, okay, alright. Alright, fair enough. Back ticks, yeah, that's good enough for me. So now what's eventually going to delete this category for us? What's going to do the work?
The API.
Yep, but how are we going to get to the API? No, we're already there. We're in this thing now. The clicks happened. All we're doing.
We need another route to it.
Yeah, we're going to use the service right now, and we're going to do the route thing in a bit. So we're going to use a service to delete this. What's the problem with that at the moment? That plan?
There's no message in the.
There is no method to delete anything yet. So we go down, we create another method here, and this just needs an ID. And I keep on thinking I'm in C#.
So a service is a. Can you tell me what a service is? It's like a block of code that does something.
Yeah, it's something that's responsible for doing a bunch some related functionality, you know.
Oh, okay.
So we've got a category service which does all of the things that we want to do to categories.
Okay.
So I'm going to be a naughty boy here. Okay. I'm going to copy my get thing because the get and delete are almost the same, and we can verify that by looking at Swagger. See, Swagger expects a form that's almost exactly the same as the get one. So I've just copied that URL. That saved me a little bit of work. So I've now got the right URL. So I need to send an HTTP delete, and as always I need to set the headers to this headers, because why? Yeah, we're talking JSON, and that's our delete method. And this is one of the benefits of having APIs which you can just call. The actual code on your front-end applications doesn't have to be that complex. Look at all the stuff that we're doing there. Look how many lines of code we're doing for each of it.
So if we didn't have the API, would it be?
We'd have to probably write our own code to delete all of this stuff. The API, if we didn't have an API, we'd need to roll our own somehow. But front end sort of frameworks like Angular and React are built to work with APIs.
Oh, okay. You created all that for us, which is why.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, which is why it seems like it's magic.
Right. How long did it take you to make all the APIs?
11 hours. So,
Oh my God.
yeah. Okay, so that's looking pretty good. And everyone caught up on that one? It's quite a quick one to write, yeah? The key thing is that we're calling the delete thing here.
And then you said that this .http, that's just the keyword to reference the API?
The HTTP is a service we've injected which is capable of making web calls on our behalf.
Oh,
So it knows how to send the various web verbs, and it provides methods that map to each of them. You see, we've got a post there, we've got a delete there, we've got a get here. Yeah? So if we go to our categories component now, we can now call that method using the ID that's been passed in. And once again, we're interested in the results. So we're saying, right, we want to subscribe. Hang on, why have I gone all squiggly? Okay, because it's not got any arguments yet. And once again, oh, oh, try these work on deletes. Right, I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna move this list code out of ng on it, and I'm gonna put that into there. And now I'm just gonna call this dot list from here. Is that gonna be equivalent? And the reason I want to do that is because after I've done my delete, I want to do a this dot list. I know. I'm copying and pasting, so I'll try and do you still need to see delete? Does anyone still need to see category service? Because, wow, that was a copy and paste job.
If you can scroll all the way up
To which one?
like category.
Yeah, okay, we've got competing requirements at the moment. I can only show one screen at one time.
Okay.
So,
If you could just hold it for like 2 seconds. Not really.
right, are we done? Are we all done on the service now?
Oh.
Does anyone still need the service open? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Put that code in
Or somebody can send it to me.
So
So did you just copy that delete down at the bottom from categories component?
Nope.
Or you, okay, because that's where I have that. Right?
Nope. We copied the get stuff and we just replaced the word get with delete. So we copied it from here. There.
So above create is a detail.
Yep.
Well, I'm done here.
Okay. Categories component. What I did, all I did was copied everything that was in. I created a new method called list. And I wonder if I can collapse this if I do this. So I'm just trying to collapse it so that we've not all got more comments here. Nope, it's not liking that at all. I'm going to delete this stuff for now. I just copied the contents of so what ng init doesn't have the same stuff in it. I moved all of that stuff into something called list, and instead ng init just uses the list method, yeah? And our delete category method deletes it, then lists it. I'm not sure.
This is not inside constructed project.
No. What's that? Okay, I want to see if this will work before, and I'm going to delete one of my categories here. It seems like I've got an error. Let's have a look and see what's going on here. Now, if things don't quite work out the way you should, you've got access to a great debugger.
Another question for you.
Yeah?
Could you remove the deleted items from the results? That would refresh the results for you.
Yeah, you could do that with JavaScript or with TypeScript, but I want to see the whole thing go from start to finish. So here, like, the cool thing about running Angular is that you do have access to your stuff here, and if you look in a folder called Webpack, you can find out what's going on. I don't expect you to do this, I just want to show you that it's possible. So if I go into my categories component here, we'll be able to get a bit more of a steer about what's actually going on here. So I'm going to click this button, delete. Okay, I'm going to step into this. So, and then I'm going to put a breakpoint on my delete method so I can see it happening in Visual Studio. You won't always have this option when you're programming against an API because the API won't always be your own. But we can check that we're hitting the right place. Well, I don't think we are. And seeing as I'm going to try and delete this through here and see what happens. And whilst I'm about it, I might delete 21 as well, because I want to see what happens on the network. See what's being passed over. It doesn't even look. ID equals 21. Category server should be calling the delete method. Do I have the right HTTP verb? Yeah, it wouldn't be otherwise. Okay. Delete ID. I should be hitting that as soon as I let go. But I can see the network traffic go from here. And I'm not seeing any call outs to that whatsoever. Right, let's get a brief overview of where everybody is. Now, did everybody get their create working? No? Well, let's all do some testing and let me know if you can get your create working whilst I try and suss out what's going on with this. Okay? So let's find out where everybody is, because this may actually take a little bit of time to sort out, and I'd rather put you on exercises and get you usefully doing stuff. And not suffering from my problems here. I've got a breakpoint on my. I'll put a breakpoint on my delete and see if I'm definitely hitting it here, so that I can suss out if Swagger's hitting it. I'm pretty sure it should be, and if we can do that and record how Swagger's hitting it, then we can determine how we should hit it too. Okay, so I'm going to give it a go with one of these things here. Executes. And that's so weird. I've not stopped in my breakpoint, which I would expect.
Do you need to do the JSON for this also?
No, I don't think that I do. I mean, I'm not even hitting it in Swagger now, which is odd.
It's not working in Swagger.
And there's no other choice. And I mean, if I try and hit this thing with a get, I'm not. Yep.
You can do it in Postman.
You can do it in Postman, and that's working, is it?
No, I mean, you could try it in Postman.
I had this working the other day with there's no error message. I'm not even braking on this, and that's the weird thing. I should be braking on this application here. Right. Okay, while I get things addressed, has everyone got a working app? Is anyone broken?
Yeah, I'm
Right, let's get you sorted.
Inside, it don't make it view.
Right, let's go and get anyone who's broken. If you're okay in Richmond, I'd like you to start creating an active service. And anyone who's not broken here, I would like you to create an active service. You should know now how to create a service with NG Generate, okay? I'm going to come around and get people sorted whilst we determine what's going on with this delete stuff.
Active server, ACTOR.
Active service, like, yeah, we're going to start looking at our active thing. So, Mike, let's have a look at you.
Alright.
You good, Dave? Right click. Mike. David, sorry. David. I'm sorry, David.
I'm not sure.
Okay, let's have a look. Have you got your app running?
Yes.
Right.
That's right.
Okay. And it says that you've got like quite a few things wrong there.
Yeah, I don't know what this error
Right. Angular expected. You need a method call. So what's the method call?
I'm not sure what I'm missing is I looked at Kelly's code too.
A method call. What is a method? How do you call a method? In TypeScript, what would you put after it? Because you're saying, right, I want to call a create method, yeah? So what would you put after the create method? To call a method.
My brain is so sparse.
What do you missing?
I don't know.
Well, right now it's not a method. What do you need to make it a method?
Okay, parens and
That's it. Right, so that's one problem. So let's go and have a look at the next one. Right, so delete category, unknown method, delete category. Where's your delete category method?
I think I missed that.
Okay, let's make that good then. Make that promise good. Where would you put that delete category method in that file? There's a place for it in that component.
In here.
No, there's a place within the component, yeah, where that's going to go. Right, so make good on that. Just stub it out for now, yeah. And the other thing you're missing, we haven't the same thing for as well. I'm sorry, I've gone really fast. That's why I was trying to slow things down. Are you working? Is your app working?
No. Visual Studio.
Before you're done, I'm just going to see what I'm missing.
So let's have a look at your solution explorer.
This is a very bad angle to see.
All the red stuff, that's what's wrong. So click on the red stuff and see what's
Category.
I'm missing stuff. I was trying to get it all.
Then you're missing the delete.
Let the app guide.
And you're missing the list changes we made.
Open that up.
I mean,
where do we get the last update? From where?
So
that's the first thing that we need to try.
Is there a thing called category? Have you got
What are you doing in delete?
I did ask.
Category. Calling the delete.
Okay, so save that.
That's two steps right there.
Yeah. It's normally quite easy to sort out.
You do? So then just go call it from category. No, that's what is that? Yeah, you have it. So now you just need to call this any other one.
Category dot details.
Do you?
So let's just
Yeah, so just make one.
I think you're safe.
Delete
Anyway.
the
It's something to
method
do
called
whether it's working.
delete category.
Just go
And
to
just
where
call
it's
that thing.
go to
This
where it's
dot
empty
category
serve.
service dot delete brackets ID. Whoop. Or was that too fast?
No, that's
Right,
good.
so
That's good.
right, okay, so come back to your
Question.
Who needs genuine help?
This shouldn't complain about it. Not happy with that at all. Yeah. So what's the problem then? Right. Okay. So
Capital U.
oh. Right. Yeah. 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 It's not going to work because we've got the delete category method. Yeah. Right now, that's not very good. Always look at this one. If this guy just put anything.
That's right.
Won't do anything at the moment. Yeah.
That's how good stuff up there.
Anything wrong with that?
We all have that part working.
Yeah. There are some things that I do have to change.
Yeah, so use that for. You wouldn't know that.
Yes. Yes, I can.
I can ask him.
I'll ask her.
Huh?
Yeah, because that's a runtime. It's not a
And the computer.
compiler.
I don't know if you should get. Well, yeah, you have an i7. You can get
Good.
everything that
I'm
happened.
just missing some
like,
code.
You can run the.
What do you
run
mean?
the other stuff.
Oh, the navigate? No, that's I think it's navigate, parentheses, box, slash category, something like that.
The box inside.
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Ask Aaron to send it to you.
Aaron, can you send me the category editor dot component
The
dot
navigate part.
yeah. Yeah, the navigate part. Yeah, just that little last one.
How do you guys use it?
The part at the bottom. Yeah, that part.
I fixed it for you. You can just see it from there.
Can I find it?
If he's on he doesn't know why
Thank
it's not
you.
working.
That's in there.
So on the to go to where he
This
is.
doesn't need to be.
We didn't fix it.
Right there. There you go.
Yeah.
So just look for the squiggly lines, yeah? Get all your regs to sort of green, yeah? Or at least so they're not red. So that's fun for you to use the brown box there, yeah? And then you should then be able to find.
I'm like, you know what? Huh? Well, I don't know.
Look
If
for your
you-
red
if you-
files. Right, Visual Studio Code is there to help you, yeah? If you've got a red file listed on the right hand side of your thing, that's probably your problem. Look in the red file, look at you.
Yeah, that's the crossover engine thing again.
Yeah.
But she has to change a few things, you know, not.
But I forget to
I
say.
forget
Forget to say what it is.
I just saved everything right
Too many code breakers. Maybe I don't have enough.
It's in pace, right? Just like mine. Jump, change,
But this came out.
S2. S2 in power.
Why don't I? Oh, maybe because I don't have. You know what? I'll select. Concentrate over
It's
there.
not even heavy. It's only 400
Category dot service.
Yeah, no one does.
Right.
Chris had the same thing, so I lost. You know that gallery thing?
Yeah, just go to, just click to something else on the top. It's just trying to get into the
Oh, so I go to gallery by default.
You gotta make sure you hit the same.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, gotcha.
This is just the same.
Oh, I did hit it.
See, every time I click add, that's where I get it. That's what
Right, how are we doing here? We're alright. We got upgrade stuff for it, yeah? Great work. Great work. Great work. Right.
well, I can try to explain to you, but I can see when I'm running. Okay.
Yep.
I wonder why my router is red.
Okay. Here we go.
Because you didn't call it in your punch shot. Oh, that's probably it.
Oh, okay.
Did you call the router?
Yeah. So I go to categories and edit it. When I press edit, it takes me here.
Copy and paste this and stuff. You haven't got a delete button. So get yourself a delete button. I'll send it in the Slack channel. Change one of those edits to a delete button.
Is this the code for the, what's this for?
That's the code for category create.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it goes there. It's
Mine's not showing red either, but it doesn't actually do anything right.
Our buttons HTML.
pardon?
Our
The
buttons.
bit that's half up the screen.
Our buttons. So will be in HTML.
I think there is a.
Yeah, we're fine yesterday.
No, I mean, was it already earlier today? Like before lunch?
I don't think anything I've done.
Oh.
I really not.
Is it plus?
Since 9:30, everything is.
Yeah, it's a plus.
Sure you're not logged into mine. I'm still getting the status message screen. Even though it's fine, just fine. It's just random like. Yes, but I'm like, you do know the status messages.
Nah, don't worry, just hit the button. No, that's not good. Okay.
Oh, yeah, so sorry. And are you calling?
I know.
That's annoying. That's quite annoying.
stick. Is that working now? You should have.
I'm trying to move the file. It's not letting me move the file.
Yeah, you've got to put your new routes in, okay?
Oh,
Jamila, you alright?
well, I just need to, I don't know the code for this, for calling my router, because it's like a red squiggle.
Well, you're just missing something.
Yeah, I
okay?
think I'm just missing.
Alright, so we need to get the router in. Router.
Apparently it says that you need to do a SIP. That's not a good idea.
Right, we've still got problems.
I don't know if you have that. Yeah. I don't know if you have software for it.
Private router, that's mine. Alright. So now you've just got a few things to sort out.
And then I'm just missing this little last bit of code for the delete. That's the only thing I'm missing.
Right, so let's have a look. What do you want, a const or a let? You've got two at the moment.
Whatever you have. I guess I'll do the it's something else after that, right?
What's that?
Is it more code after this? Or is that finished?
Yeah, you need a delete method. So Aaron's just put that in there.
Oh, okay. I didn't see it. There we go. Okay. Thank you, Aaron.
Okay. Right, so I think I've sussed out, or at least stolen off of the internet, the way to get a release. What did we do on all of our other stuff that we're not doing on delete? Subscribe. Actually, not. I don't. Sorry, I don't want to do it on there. I'll do it somewhere else. Let me just look at my component. If I can get this working, then we will. That's a service code, component code. Subscribe. And then I think I can put a method in which will cause it to delete once I'm done. Oh, hang on. I'll just try this on its own for right now and see what happens. Right, so I don't know if this is going to work, because as I said before I came here, I just used to do everything through posts because I'm a naughty boy. Or alternatively, a boy who wants things to work and doesn't have time to get them working properly. Right, look at that, we're through. And has it gone? I'm going to try and delete this one here. Post test. Oh, hang on. Most of this is working, but we're still seeing. Yeah, it is still there. So let me just work out what it should actually be. It might be something that I just have to change quickly on the API, because I don't know why that's not deleting. Let's try to delete on here. I suspect it might be the API. Alright, so it's coming through. F11. We've still got 22 rows. Let's have a look. I'm going to try and delete 22. See, if it's not working here from here, then I think there's a decent chance that it's just not deleting properly on the API. We're following it all the way through. And if I get a list now, that's still there, number 22, right? Okay. I may have to make a small change to the API, I apologise. I thought it was going through, but I think it's easy enough to sort out. Yep, you can keep working on the active stuff. So if you want to do an active service whilst I'm addressing this, it will not be long before I've addressed this. Just want to make sure it works from here.
This is on the job stuff, right?
Pardon?
This is a day on the job, really.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You have to check things out. I'm normally in the debugger a couple of times a day. Things rarely work the first time. I've got to say, I'm nowhere near as good as Angular or have as much experience with Angular as I do with other stuff. But this is actually my bad because this is in the .NET space. And I should, let's just try Swagger again, 22. Okay, and just run that. Yeah. So that was a combination of things. Do you want to know quite how your instructor messed up?
Yes.
Right. There's two big mistakes that I made. First of all, what were we calling on every other method in our stuff? Every other method in our Angular stuff, in our services class, on our components, that we weren't calling here. Look at the original delete stuff that Aaron sent around, and now look at the stuff that I'm sending over now. Subscribe. In my furtive look at my phone to work out what the hell was going on, I found out that if you don't call subscribe, nothing happens. Okay? Alright, so that was problem one. The second problem was on the .NET side of things, and I'm just going to sort that out now. We talked about transactions when we were doing nhibernate, yeah? Some of these things work with implicit transactions. Some of we needed to clear out the transaction and flush the session and actually commit the result at that point. And I just did that using, I'm not actually using transactions, I used a quick and dirty way to get it done, which is just to flush the session. And now we've only got 21 lines. So if I look at this here, I should, once I restart my app, I should only have that. So I just want to get this up to Git for you so that you've got a working delete method. Now, one of the advantages of the hello. One of the advantages of doing a generic repository, as you'll see in my thing, is I've just fixed that delete method for every single entity that we've got, because of the way that we inherit from a common thing. So I'm going to start my web app again. You can do a git pull, and you should be able to get just that change down and rebuild your VS. Empower public. Okay, and now you can see PT test has disappeared from there. I'm going to send over the new delete code if anyone doesn't have it. So this is intended for your service. I'm sorry, I will get this right at some point. So yeah, nice and simple, delete category. And here it is in Slack. So all we're doing there is we're saying we want to call delete, we're interested in the results, and once the results have come in, we want to just list the current thing again. So that should guarantee that our list doesn't update until the thing is actually deleted. MVC public. I've not done it MVC Angular, no. So Empower public. I mean Empower public. I'll send the correct link out now.
Have to reopen the Visual Studio.
Yeah, close Visual Studio down. I mean, you need to have Visual Studio running at all times for this to work anyway. But you want to do a git pull in your Empower thing. You don't have to clone it or anything. So. And if you rebuild Visual Studio, you should have a working delete method.
Oh, just rebuild it.
Yep. So I'm going to try and delete another one here using my and that should just disappear. You'll probably get an error if you try and delete the top ones. Why is that?
Because they have data attached.
That's right. Well done, Kirsty. That's an excellent answer. Was it Kirsty or Melissa?
It was me.
Okay, sorry, Melissa. I just, it's very dark over there. I can't see. I wasn't looking that way at the time. So yeah, you're right. They've got referential integrity going on with them. That means that we've got. You can't. You'll probably error if you try and delete the top ones. The bottom ones won't delete of mine anyway, because I've just created them today. They're not associated with anything. But we've got a delete working now, and we've got an edit working now. A new work. Oh, we haven't got the editor yet, I don't think. But new works. So let's get this last thing in the bag then, shall we? Edits. And I just want to check that before we go any further, I want to make sure that this actually does work in Swagger. So category update, I'm going to try it out. I'm going to record the results because I want to see what happens when I send this stuff over. So I'm going to say I want, what categories do we still have left? I'm going to call this number 19 and I'm going to call it empowerment. I just want to make sure that that actually changes so we can beaver on. And this tells me that that is indeed working nicely. Now if I look at my Chrome stuff, I can actually look at what I put over. So all I need to do in my update method in category service is basically copy most of what we have for the create. Oh, actually no, that's not true. I'm lying again. I'm such a bad man. Alright. So what do we use for updates? Yep. Great. So we're going to be able to crib most of our code here. Just grab that from get. And change it to update. This knows nothing about ID, so we can go for category ID. And we might have a space in our category name, so what are we going to do about that? Encode it. Excellent. So filthy stuff going on right here. I am repeating myself, but I want to make sure that you've got all of these four methods to work from for the active stuff. So return this.http updates or output, sorry, URL. Oh, you are missing a character, Paul. I'm just going to send over JSON. It's expecting a body, so I'm just going to send over an empty object. Then I'm going to send over, as always, the headers to say, hey, we want to chat JSON. And that's our update method. I'm just going to so the service call is in, and it's very similar to everything else that we've done. Because Scott introduced a bit of complexity earlier on, everyone have a go at Scott for making us put two of our eggs in one basket. Normally we'd separate our concerns, but it does make sense. We don't want to do two forms. Why would, if we do two forms, then they can get edited independently, they can get moved around independently. Do we have to have two forms, or could we get away with one and have a specific edit update component? I mean, the answer, I'll let you know, is yes, because, and I'll tell you why. We've got a category editor, right? There's no reason why we couldn't have a category editor which was specifically about editing, yeah, and a category creator which was specifically for creating. What we would need to do, if we wanted them both to point to the same form, we can do that. And we would do that by simply changing the template where each would go so that they're both pointed at the same thing. We're not going to do that. We're going to create an update method on our category component, and we're going to call the category service, and we're going to update. We're going to use this as our category. We still got work to do, but we're going to subscribe to the result, and we are going to be filthy but fast. And we're going to do the same as what we've done here. Okay, if it's errored, we're going to show a message on the screen. If it's fine, oh, we're going to do something else. Now, why am I erroring here? Why have I got squiggly lines? I know why. I'd like to know if any of you guys know why. And I think really the clue is in the category service stuff.
Because we are giving it category.
Now I do wonder if we. Yep. Right, in our create, yeah, we're actually posting and we're returning a create response, yeah. Right, in our puts, we're not specifying a return type, are we? So I wonder if put supports generic. Now I'm not going to leave this in there, but I wonder if this will work. Right, it's compiled successfully. Now that is a bit dirty because I'm basically using a create response to do an update response, yeah? And that's that, you know. Ideally, you'd want one thing, but you know we're getting to the point now where we would like an update response, but we don't want the hassle of creating all of the stuff that goes with it. Let's just see if this works for now before we create a specific update response. What did we do in C# when we had loads of responses that were basically the same, and we didn't want to have to type error message or has error in every single one of them? No, it's something else. We created a base response, remember, which held those properties, and every other response type that we had inherited from that. We can do that later, but right now we just want to get this in place. And I think just that one change, getting it to return, has made us okay here. So our update method works. Why won't we be able to update anything? We do have a form, but the form is specifically for the new. So we've got two parts of this, and this is really, really dodgy. I'm sorry for this, but we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Right. So we're gonna say if category ID equals 0, then do you remember that? This thing here? the question mark and the colon. It's a dirty if statement. It's called a ternary. So what am I doing there? If that's an if statement, what's going on there?
If the category ID is equal to 0,
Yep.
then we're going to pass in a parameter, a query of the create method.
If it's not 0, then we're going to update it.
Yep. And I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that my app hasn't crashed. So we're still there. We're still there. We're still good. What else did we need to do for updates in specific? When we were doing the detail things, we passed an ID, didn't we? We needed to pass that ID in. Do you remember that?
For detail.
Yeah, for the detail pages.
Yeah.
And we've got a route, which, you know, our edit route here.
Yeah. Which is different.
Yep. And we should be passing in one of these, a number. So I'm just going to show you something up here. We're going to put category ID at the top here, okay? So you can see what it is, and you can see what our problem is. Category ID is nothing at the moment, and this is supposed to be an edit. If we try and edit this, it's yeah. So let's make that explicit, okay? Let's look at what we've done in our detail things, and in our detail things we've got a get category method for the detail stuff there. That actually looks pretty good. In terms of what we need. But we're going to have to make a couple of changes, right? We've said our specific case is if category ID is 0, then we're going to create. Otherwise, we're going to update. Now, the thing is, if we look at our screen here, our category ID is not even 0. It's just blank, yeah? So that test will fail. And we'll try and update it anyway. So we want something like the detail method that we have in category edit detail, that when we're going to try and find, in fact I'm going to copy this and then we can I'll show you piece by piece what I'm going to do. So on the category editor component, I'm going to put this thing in called get category, which I've just cribbed and stolen like a thief in the night from its other things. Now we've got some immediate problems, right? We don't have a root, so we can't get the parameter out easy. So I'm going to say, okay, I need a root. Anyone remember what our root class was called? It's not router because we've already got router. For the detail pages, we use something called activated route. And now we've got that in there. Now we've got that in there, we can try and get that. No, I don't know. Right.
Can you repeat that for me?
Yeah.
I kind of lost you there for a second.
When I copied and pasted this get category thing like a thief in the night, if this route thing here was giving me an error, I know that this is the route. I need this thing called route to get me the ID, yeah. And activated route is the thing that can look for the IDs in the route, yeah. It knows that these things, it knows how to pull parameters from these IDs. But I don't want to do this here, okay. I don't want to const because I want to explicitly change it depending on whether I get a value, yeah. So I'm going to do a let. Okay. Now, if we've got a value, the ID will be filled with the value. Okay? And I'm going to demonstrate that now by adding this get category thing to ng on it. Yeah.
Let's make sure we go back on.
Oh yeah.
Some of this, 'cause you're going
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I know what we're doing. Yeah. But I do want to make sure that I do want to make sure that we get this covered, so then I can at least say if I'm working up here, yeah, and this is working, then we can look at the rest of it at leisure, and they won't be copying down crap that doesn't work. So I totally get you. I know you feel like I'm driving you like a million miles over a cliff edge or something like that, but believe me, I know how to apply the brakes at the right time. Okay.
Thank you.
You might fly through the windscreen though. Right. So we're going to call this get category thing on when this thing initializes, okay? And all this get category is going to do is going to try and get the ID, and this will still work right now. If we look at this thing here that we had there, oh. I wonder if I've got an error here. Right. Let's try it from here. Alright, I don't know why that isn't quite working just yet. This is why I'm speeding up a little bit, Balance, okay? And again, I was doing what you were doing yesterday. I'm looking at something that works and working out what it is that I might be missing.
Always got the same error before lunch.
Yeah?
Access control.
Okay, I don't know why that would be the case. Did that fix it for you, by the way? That thing that I asked you to do? No? Okay, I'll be over in a sec. Well, once we've got through this. Ooh. Okay, I needed to probably update that location. Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. I want us to get us. I wouldn't mind taking a break in about 9 minutes, so if that's okay. I just want to see if I can get anywhere on this. Category edit, no provider for location. So again, I look at what works. I look at what I'm missing. And I can put a breakpoint on this thing here now and suss out what's going on. And this is like this is data study. So I'm just going to go into my category editor component. And I'm going to see what happens and see what's passed through when I try and edit a category. So you can look at individual.
So let's do a break
Yeah,
until,
okay.
Until like 3 or 3:00.
Okay, no problem. Yep.
Sorry? Yeah, I already, well, the problem was I already told Harper that we're...
Okay, fair enough. That's fine. Right, so after that, this should be okay. Okay, I know what I'm doing. Oh.
They were so frustrated.
Yeah, it was just like.
You need to make a change to the app module, right?
What's that?
Don't you need to make a change to the app module?
Why?
No?
I don't think so.
Normal.
The routing module, I think.
No, it's just I'm not assigning it to the category. I'm an idiot. So if I've got an ID, I'm going to use ID. Otherwise, I'm going to explicitly set it to 0.
Paul,
Yep.
can I make a suggestion?
Yep.
Okay. I think you should write out all the code and then trivia us and ask us how does it work, rather than us keep up with it.
That's not a bad idea. But I've got, look, that's not my plan, okay? And the way that I'm going to trivia you, yeah, is by getting you to take the examples we've got. We will have, just after break, yeah, we're going to have examples of everything, of how to do it. And the trivia will be you creating your own stuff for the Actors API, okay? Then that's a better way. That is a better way of triviaing you than doing it this way.
And then
Save it to give it to us. Then
yeah.
with that, I retained it a lot better, and I could go and do the notes, and then I had it. And
But I don't want to leave you. I don't want to leave you up the garden path. Right? We've got pretty much everything I need now. So I'm gonna
I know myself. I struggle to keep up with everything, and then I don't listen to what you're talking and explaining.
Right.
So I'm trying to.
Yeah, because we're busy trying to, with our fingers and trying to listen to you at the same time.
Do you know what? I will meet you halfway. Yeah. I'll put a new version of this up, but I expect you to do the Actors stuff on your own.
By ourselves.
Well, why not leave, like they used to do in school? Why not leave out a couple lines here and there, and we got to figure out what they are?
No, I think you should do the I think you should go through and do the Actors stuff. Yeah, start to finish on your own, but you'll have a complete category implementation that you can work with. Does that work for you guys?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
works.
All right. Cool.
We want to learn.
And look, I know how fast I type. I've been doing this for 20 years, right? So.
You don't speak for all of us.
Yes, I do. So we want to learn, but it's difficult. It's difficult typing and listening to you at the same time.
I know, and that's absolutely fine. Okay. Alright, so if ID is greater than 0, if ID is greater than 0, then we want to this get category service, get category.
You know how there's interviews for firefighters going on next door? Like the guy in there right now looks like a 15-year-old. It's just very young-faced.
Oh, detail, isn't it? Subscribe. Data. This category equals category.
Right now that emoji has been exploding.
Else ID equals 0. Right. I think we're quite nice and ready for this now. They, did you hear what Bethany asked?
Yeah.
Yeah. So did you hear what I responded?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you think?
I still think you should give them the code.
But no, I'm giving them the code.
And then explain it.
No, I think once they get the code, they've got the. Well, I don't know, right?
No, I think this part you still need to explain.
Making us do it on our own.
Yep.
Yeah.
The code example.
Yep.
Yeah, the active part is fine, but we should do that.
Yep. But they've got everything they need now to do that. Yeah, and that's what we did yesterday.
But this the update thing, I think you should just explain once because you just went super fast, right? What do you think?
I don't know.
No?
I don't know.
Why doesn't it, when you do the navigate category, why is it not going back to that?
Hang on. Update. Sorry, I'll get up to you in a sec. Okay.
Yeah, no, I can understand totally.
I guess that can put it on my desk. So even though this is where I'd like to work, I have.
Yeah, I'll have the issue edit other than
I am still actively pushing more because, and I will until I have something in
Actually, you have prepared
basement.
What do you do? What do you do when you're like this?
Right, we're working, so I'm going to get all of this up there. I need you to either clone.
Well, no, 19
Actually, just ordered something for Abby. I think it's hilarious. He talks about how this isn't matches all the time. And so, yeah. You know, like the light blue ones with the stars. Yeah, I think. There you go. Mad skills.
Are you going to be re-pushing?
I've already done it. I've Empower Angular. Okay. Empower Angular and Empower Public. I've just put something on the Git channel.
All good?
Yeah, it's good. I'm going to pop downstairs for a little bit. But we've got everything up there, pushed up. If you get them to put it all down, yeah. They've now got a complete working framework. Bethany come up and said, "Can you just trivia on us?" And I said, "Well, no, but yes, yeah." Because now they've got everything, they can work on it on their own. All the 5 methods of working: update, delete, and doing as they should.
So you're saying pull on the
Angular and MVC, yeah, because I found in the prosecution of my duties that the update method wasn't actually updating; it was just saying it was. Okay, I'm sorry about that, but I know.
Everything's fine, I forget it. I'm fine.
Fine, can I borrow your lights, please? Oh, yeah. You're going to be sharing. We're going to replace that.
Right, so you should all be in a position where you can pull now, and you can maybe recline the angular thing, but if you want to just, you can.
I prefer not to recall the angular thing.
Well, you can get stash your own changes and then pull. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, everyone has to because you just push that. What was wrong source and go like?
Every single time I walk past the biomedical lab, I want to take one of those white coats.
Do it on the last day.
Say a little bit. A little bit. What? You didn't lost it all yet?
Yeah, so
A little bit.
Is it going down?
Oh, good.
Right, so have you, has everyone in the room pulled and got their stuff down?
Working on it right now.
Okay.
And we're pulling the angular part, the Empower angular part.
You can, if you want to do it quickly, you can do a git stash and then you can do a git pull and then do an npm install it. Just install the stuff you haven't got.
Cool. All right, thank you.
You can do a git pull on Empower, Empower MV public, Kelly. And that,
Just, it never seems to work for
if
me.
you do a git stash first, then your git pull will
It's too
work.
late, I already deleted it.
Okay. So, you've seen the pain. It's not fun.
No, it's not.
But it will be, you're going to go through your own pain now.
Oh.
But you will have a working version of my pain to compare with. And we have proven that we've done all of these things here. It's not great, so it doesn't look great, I don't think. But it does work. Right, so the exercises are, and I want you to all, I'm going to type them out into the Empower Public stuff so that anyone that's not here. So we want to get, I know it's only got 2 hours, we want to get as far as we can. Implementing the Actors API. Implement Actors. Alright, and I am going to give you hints because I've been a bad boy today. So, we will need an actors list component, an actor detail component, an actor editor component, which will handle both creates and updates depending on the value of actor ID. We will need an actor service, and this should implement means of listing getting the detail, creating, deleting, and updating. Command reminder. To generate a service. It is ng generate service, then kebab case. Please don't type this out literally. Service name. And if I see a service in anyone's code called kebab case, service name, service, I shall be sorely disappointed.
Oh, that's his British talk. That's sorely. That's the remix.
Okay. To generate a component, it is ng generate kebab case component name. Same deal with the disappointment. To generate a class, you're going to need to type ng generate class kebab case class name. You will need two classes, one to hold a single actor. This should have a property of type film called films, and another to hold a list of actors plus the total number of actors. Right, that's what we're doing for the rest of the day. If anyone not got their stuff down, let me know. I will come and help you right away. If anyone has got their stuff down and wants some guidance on the way that we're going to architect this, please speak to me. Okay, Richmond, Harper, have you got this covered on that side? If you have any questions, I can sort it. Otherwise, I'm probably going to stop the stream while we do the exercises. If you've got questions. Okay, no worries, sir. I'm just letting you know it's all been pushed up. If you want to get the angle of that thing down quickly, I would say do a git stash, then a git pull instead of a git clone. You might still have to type npm install. I doubt it though, because I don't think we've gone and installed too much else. you have everything you need in the category service to form the methods for the actor service. Okay.